Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live stream. This is going to be a little different, a little shorter this week. I've been sick with a winter cold, and I'm not sure how long my voice is going to hold up. So, hello, Catherine, welcome. Um, the idea behind this stream is we are going to take a look at Pika OS, which is something relatively new. It's an Ubuntu based distribution based on the 22.10 short term support release. But this is specifically tweaked for gaming and for GNOME lovers. And so it looked interesting, so I thought, well, we'll take a look, and once I get this started, I'm going to run and grab something to drink, and I will be back. So let's go ahead and start the VM. And we'll see what has changed. So right off the bat, they've taken out the OEM option for Pika OS. Hello, Jason and David. Welcome. And Ken. Glad to see all of you here today. I was sort of questioning whether or not I was gonna do this stream, because I've been very under the weather since Tuesday, and it was a small miracle that I actually got midweek news out on Wednesday, but made it happen. Okay. So right off the bat, it's complaining about not being able to grab connection to super graphics control. Blah blah blah. That's fine. We're not actually going to install and try to run games on this, but we are going to at least try to get through the install. I also don't really care that they have the username is Pika OS and the password is Pika OS. Not my preferred way of doing things. So launches right into the installer. Eastern time zone, New York is fine. English US. And of course, erase disk. All right. Install now. All right. We've got Joe in the house as well. Welcome. Everybody talk amongst yourselves for just a moment. I'm going to grab something to drink now that I've started the live. My throat's drying out, and I'll be right back. Okay. So obviously this is going to take a little while. Let's see. Anyone have snow? Yes, it's currently snowing in Michigan as we speak. Uh, after much of a week of rain, I'm actually kind of happy to see the snow because I've got a leak in the roof. So not ideal to have rain when you've got a leaky roof. All right. So, what has everybody been up to this week? Um, I've just been sleeping a lot. Uh, I'm finally past the coughing stage of this cold or flu or whatever the heck it was. So hopefully I'm on the up at this point. Had a tiny bit of snow this morning, but it's melted off completely now. Yeah, you don't get snow down in your area. Uh, Fun stuff. All right, so while we're waiting on this, I suppose we could take a look at. Let's just do a new window. Pika OS. I mentioned this in the midweek news on Wednesday. So let's see, if we come down to the bottom here, we should get a link to the actual official website. Um, so yeah, it's supposed to be faster than standard Ubuntu because of a tweaked kernel. Drivers are included. Beyond that, it's pretty much Ubuntu. Um, but it's supposed to make things easier or quicker for installing uh, and getting up to speed with games. So, if that's the case, I may try it on actual hardware at some point. But yeah, we'll have to see. Uh, it's sunny here on Vancouver Island. Well, I sort of envy the sun. Haven't seen that in a while. So yeah, let's see. All right. So, anyways, um, their website is pretty simple at the moment. Hopefully, they will expand it out. They got Discord. They've got a link to GitHub and Launchpad. But hopefully, this will be done installing here in a minute or two, and we can take a look around on the installed system. And see what we can do with it. On Long Island, it's a nice cold day. Flowers are starting to bloom and squirrels are coming out. The weather has got me down. Yeah. Uh, well, it is January, so I'm trying not to think about it too much, but all right, we can go ahead and restart into the new system. And see what we've got to work with. That I kind of expect. Okay. So, one of the things that's different is that you can change the desktop layout. Um, so, your traditional Windows look, your Windows 11 look, Pineapple is obviously Apple. Haha. Then they've got Unity, GNOME 2, and the standard GNOME. Let's just leave it at the default there. And we'll close this. Maybe we'll close this. All right. So first steps, it's got a system updater, install media codecs and libraries, NVIDIA drivers, apps from the software manager, and web apps. So this is pretty standard stuff. Recommended actions. So we've got some interesting choices here. Pika OS game utilities. And this is a meta package that installs Steam, Lutris, G Overlay, plus Mango HUD, Wine Tricks, VK Basalt, and many more. So maybe this dude Linus that had his system puke all over itself. Maybe this is easy enough for him to use for games. You never know. They got Blender and OBS Studio and Krita and LibreOffice. Yeah, so that's kind of nifty. AMD drivers. Drivers for Xbox One controllers, and Proton for Steam, which is pretty nifty to have that as part of this installation welcome wizard. You can get new themes and icons. Just out of curiosity, see what this does. Okay, so it directs us to pling.com, which I'm not familiar with, but I guess that could be interesting. Theme your desktop and extensions for the desktop, which again, I guess could be interesting. use extensions. So there's arc menu, there's dash to panel, desktop icons, next generation, legacy GTK3 theme scheme auto switcher. That's a mouthful. Ubuntu app indicators, Ubuntu dock. Alright. Lots of interesting things included here. Jump back here. Just for grins, let's go ahead and launch the updater. Just to make sure that we're not missing anything. So, resolution of the VM, it's defaulted to 1280 by 800. I typically jump to 1440 by 900. It's usually a little better. So install updates. And see what we can do with this. All right. Okay, so just while we're waiting, opening activities brings up our little menu down here. Got Firefox installed, repository settings, software manager, update manager, file manager, settings, terminal, system monitor, Mint update. That's interesting. And show applications. So I got web apps. Kind of interesting the way they've done this. Curious to see. Is files version 43. I guess is all right. Okay, so we've got Pika OS 22.10 and GNOME version not available, which is interesting. It is running defaulted to X11. That's all right, I guess. So we'll see what's happening here. All right. Really don't want to start this until after the updates are finished. Hopefully it won't take another minute or two. All right. I had actually considered just doing the install of this before the stream, but best intentions, you know. Okay, so we're updated. So we're going to go ahead and kick off the Pika OS game utilities. Install that. See how long this might take to push through. All right, installing packages. And while we probably won't be able to run games in this VM, at least it will give us something to play with a little bit, I guess, just to see what's going on with it. So for the sake of argument, I'm using 1.8 gigs of RAM currently, doing the updates or installing the packages for the gaming stuff. That's all going fine. And what else can we look at here? Oh, that's interesting. And okay, apparently that finished. All right. Well, Image Magic, Game Conqueror, ScumVM, Lutris, Steam, DOSBox, G-Overlay. Okay. Not sure what exactly we're looking at here. No process selected. All right. Lutris. Not sure I've ever actually used Lutris, but we'll take a look. Again, I might have to think about installing this on some real hardware here at some point. And so this looks to be a multi-launcher control app of some variety. You can jump to Steam, I'm guessing. All right, that's not terribly exciting. If we launch Steam, it should look a lot like Steam everywhere else. And we'll see what this does if we sign into my Steam account and take a look at that. All right, so this should be almost done, hopefully. Okay. Okay, let's see if this, there it is. All right, had to get the code. No, finish. Okay. And so the question is, will Vampire Survivors run fingers crossed. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I am going to be very happy to be the rest of the way over this stuff that I've had this week. It's just been miserable. So here's the acid test. Steam error. Okay, so no harm, no foul. So what we do is we come back here and optional steps. And we do Proton. And then we hold our fingers crossed and we try to move forward with it. So I've taken the influenza vaccine in the past, and usually it doesn't really have any impact on how sick I end up getting. um, so I opted not to get it this season, and I don't think I've taken it in 5 years. And this is the first time in that period that I've been sick like this. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. All right, so we'll try this one more time and see if Steam wants to cooperate with us now. Ready to launch. Okay, so we gotta still have an error. So no dice on that one. Not sure if Infernax. It appears that we don't have. It's not recognizing that we've got Proton installed. Apparently. Settings. Well, let's see. Cloud. Music. All right. Optional steps. Installed compatibility tools. Okay, GE Proton 747. Install. And we might still get somewhere. I don't know. This may work. This may blow up in our faces. Okay. Still doesn't appear. Oh, there we go. 747. Show game list. Alright, so let's attempt to launch into Steam one more time and see if it picks up. That we've installed Proton. And alright, Infernax is still not recognizing it. Okay, recent updates, that's fine. But it does not appear to be launching. An error occurred while updating Vampire Survivors. Missing executable. Okay, so we've got a no-go on this one so far. That's fine. We get anything running on here. I mean, this is a pretty old game. I would think it would launch. Well, there's one game launched. Like I said, old game, 2014. All right. Not great. We got to play with the mouse. Yep. Anyways, so Steam is running. Just not having luck getting some of the newer games to run, which is fine. All right, so I mean, other than the gaming draw on this, you get the normal stuff with a distro based on Ubuntu. some of the things that are left out by default are things like LibreOffice and other such things because they wanted to do more of a focus on gaming, and that's fine, Um, just curious to see. Got Proton Mail. um, Unofficial apps. Run any Windows program through Valve's Proton. Interesting. Quite the claim to make. So, there are quite a few pieces of software available here, of course. Looks like some of the games are highlighted. Um, so yeah, this is Pika OS, and yeah, I guess for me the jury's out a little bit. I'm um, curious about what this would do on actual hardware, but I'm not necessarily impressed enough with it to install it on actual hardware. Of course, this is early days for this distribution, and um, you know, as it matures, it may be a little bit more compelling to go down that road and do additional testing. Now, this was just submitted to DistroWatch on the 12th of this month, so this is very new. Um, and so, of course, there's no real track record on the developers and how long and how well they are going to support this particular distribution. Um, but nonetheless, it's something interesting to take a look at, and um, it might be worth playing with some more in the future if they. Okay, there we go. If they continue to make releases for it and um, go from there. Okay. So, we're 46 minutes in. Um, and that was about the time that I had wanted to go today. Um, so, yeah, little less enthusiasm on my part today, and I apologize for that. Um, Still not feeling 100%, maybe 85. Um, So, but I did want to make sure I did this today, and even if it is shorter than typical, and hopefully by the time next Sunday rolls around, which will be the final live stream for January on the 29th, hopefully I'll be back to 100% and can hit this with a little more enthusiasm and just get things back to normal again. So, but Joe says, looking forward to upcoming videos and hope you feel better. Thank you, Joe. Like I said, I'm feeling like I'm about 85% right now. Part of my issue is I've had practically zero appetite. So I've just been tiring easily because I've not been eating nearly as much. And so hopefully by this time next week, things will be normal, and there might be a few more exciting things to talk about. I do have a few things in the works that were sort of sidelined because of being ill this week. And I'm hoping to spend some more time on those, maybe even this afternoon, but certainly the first part of the week, and get hopefully back on track to where I want to be with things. So on that note, thank you all for stopping in. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you coming in and for your support. Shout out to Joe at Learn Blue Iris. Check out his channel. Got some great information. And to Ashley Trelly for my wonderful graphics that I'm still loving and using in all the new thumbnails and everything. So thank you both for that. And on that note, I'll see all of you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.